If you don't know anything about how Liberty paying for tuition works, basically you can, so like if you were to go on a tour of Liberty or like watching Liberty videos, I feel like you wouldn't hear this stuff just because if you get book vouchers, you can then. Just because it is a Christian campus does not mean that there will not be, and that's kind of how you can tell who's a freshman and a newbie. We're getting like real. And like, I don't want to say tea because I feel like that sounds like,
let me make content.
But when it comes to popularity and a hierarchy at Liberty, yo, they're so. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and this is the very first video of mine that you are clicking on and watching, welcome to my channel. My name is Christina Clark. Nice to meet you. I'm 20 years old and I am a junior in college at Liberty University. On my channel, I predominantly post faith-based and lifestyle content. So if those are videos that you enjoy watching, please subscribe. I would love to have you guys a part of the family. If you are not new to this channel, but you have not seen my latest video, I got bangs. Wow, hi, look at her. She's really... LOL, I'm wearing sunglasses. I don't need to be wearing those. Today's video is a part 3, yes, a part 3 to the things that I wish I knew before attending Liberty University. I highly recommend watching part 1 and 2 before watching this video because I've talked about a lot of other things that might be helpful before watching this video. Or, you know what, you could totally just watch this and not watch other ones, but I feel like, I don't know, chronological order might make sense. Again, I do have to disclaim the fact that, listen, even though these are things that I wish I would have known before coming to school at Liberty, I would still 110% come to school here. I love being a flame. It's such a blessing. Don't take anything I say so negative to the point that, oh, she doesn't want to go to school there anymore. Oh, she hates her life. No, that's not it. That's not true. These are simply just things that I wish I would have known before coming to school here, before attending college at a private Christian, predominantly Baptist university. So if you guys want to hear the things that I wish I would have known before attending Liberty University for the third and final part, at least for a while, then keep on watching. When I'm with you, when I'm with you. But yeah, so these are just 10 things that I wish I would have known. Hopefully you guys have the eyes to see and the ears to hear the truth behind this. I'm not bashing anyone or anything, and I'm also not making anything an idol. There's a lot of good stuff in here. There's a lot of tips that if someone would have told me before my first year would have helped so much. I also feel like some of these things are very specific. So like if you were to go on a tour of Liberty or like watching Liberty videos, I feel like you wouldn't hear this stuff just because they're so particular, but they're really helpful. So I hope that you guys enjoy this video and I hope that you can take something away from it. Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and get on with the things. So we're gonna start off with number 10. We're gonna count down. This is more towards like financial check-in, finances kind of situation. If you don't know anything about how Liberty paying for tuition works, basically you complete something called a financial check-in, and you do it pretty early on, earlier than when you would pay for college at a public university. You just select your housing, you register for courses, your meal plan, all of that fun stuff, parking passes, etc. When you conclude your financial check-in, you start paying. Regardless if you're getting a refund check or not, please use this thing that Liberty has called book vouchers. It was a new concept for me initially because they didn't have that at my last university. I've never heard of book vouchers, but basically book vouchers are money to spend on textbooks that you have immediately, and it's factored into the payments that you might be making if you do have to pay like monthly payments, or it'll take away from the refund check that you're getting. And it's still money, it's still the same thing, but instead of it being physical US dollars, it's now in book voucher currency. But the perk of doing this, if you get book vouchers, you can then buy your textbooks early. And you don't even have to have that money in your bank account as long as you make the first payment. For this semester for spring 2021, I actually got a refund check. Love that. But at the time, I didn't have money to pay for like textbooks. Like I didn't have that additional funds. So instead of waiting for that money to come into my account and like that takes forever, it'll take like a month or two, get book vouchers and use that to pay for your books because it makes things so much easier. And if you get too much, hey, You can put it on a gift card and spend it at the end of the semester.
Yes, it's a thing. You could do that.
If you don't get enough, you can always redo your financial check-in. You can edit and update it. 10 out of 10, recommend. Get book vouchers. Lifesaver. Number 9, I know this sounds bogus. I know it sounds like, oh, you could have come up with anything else. That's not what this is whatsoever. So please don't think that. But number 9 is how much of a blessing it really is to go to this school. With everything going on in the world, all the craziness, because let's be real, there's a lot going down. There's a lot hitting the fan. Being a Christian at a Christian university has been so transformative and such a blessing, and being around like-minded people in a world that is primarily, I don't want to say anti-Christian, but not aligned with the Bible and living according to how we are called to live. Being in this university, learning more about the Bible, applying current events into the studies, and always having someone to pray for you and praying over you, and having a confidant that you know you can go to, whether it's just a godly community of friends or your professors. Being able to just talk with my friends about like political issues and things that maybe the world might not agree with me on or see eye to eye, but just having someone who is not just gonna ridicule me or like write me off within the first second. Number 8, let's talk about campus community. So if you don't know what campus community night is at Liberty, it's basically like a massive Bible study, and it's every Wednesday night. You have to register for that. I didn't know that. Like coming to school here, I was like, oh, you just show up. No, you don't just show up. You have to register for Campus Com. You have to register. And when registration opens, it's Monday mornings at 9 a.m. And listen, if you do not register Monday mornings at 9 a.m., you will not get a spot. Now, when I go to Campus Com, I sit on the field, if we're talking about the football stadium, or if it's in the Vine Center, I sit on the floor seats. And those are, I feel like that's like prime real estate. Those go so freaking fast. And then also the rest of the seats will go super fast. People want to go to Campus Com, so they're getting booked up. It's all online. Like, you don't have to physically go somewhere to register, but make sure you're on it. Don't like assume that you can just walk in. No, trust me, they've taken the precautions. They've upped their security so you can't finesse the system anymore. Number 7. If you know what North is, people say North Green. Okay, I say the same thing. Some people say one's for food, one's for like school, whatever. North and Green, same thing. IMO. If you want to go to North for dinner, where there's a lot of food options there, it's by the gym at Liberty University. I never go to North to eat, really. One, because it's like so far, but also because North at dinner time is insanely packed. Of course, everyone wants to eat dinner, but at the same time, for some reason, everyone wants to be at North. And you know, you have to think about social distancing and everything. That in conjunction with like a bunch of people, the lines are ridiculously long. So I never go. If you want to go get Chick-fil-A, if you want to have like Subco, if you want to get like a salad from the farmer's fresh field, if you want to get Fuego, a Dunkin' smoothie, just beware, it's going to be insanely packed. And I 1,000,000% recommend going early. Number 6, Liberty does have Bible studies other than campus community night. Typically they're Monday nights. I know that there's this thing called Delight, and that's only for women. It kind of looks like a little sorority, like it's very aesthetically pleasing. And there's also Bible studies at TRBC, which is the church connected to Liberty University at Green. If you're interested in that, or if like Campus Com doesn't work with your schedule, that's just something really helpful to know. Okay, wait, number 5. Actually, wait, I love talking about this. Number 5 is that the Rot workers, the people who work at Liberty's dining hall, the Reber Thomas Dining Hall, they are phenomenal. I love talking with them. 9 out of 10 times, someone is either funny, so sweet, like everyone is so nice, and they will gladly have a conversation with you. I love the guys at the pasta station. Willie's funny. Willie's got jokes. You gotta pry it out of him, but Willie's funny. There's also a guy, I believe his name's Cook. He's also a really good person to talk to. people at the salad station. Okay, those are the I just eat at the pasta and salad station when I go to the restaurant. Take the time out of your day to talk to the workers, because they're not just workers. They're not people who are there just to serve you. They're human beings, and they have a personality. They have a life. They have other attributes to them. Do not feel entitled. Do not feel like you run the show and that you can make a mess and people will clean up after you. Do not be that person. Linda, who works on the custodial, is so funny. I'll talk to her. She will sing you some songs. She loves Friends. Like, please talk to the people at the Rot. Speaking of the Rot and going into number 4, okay, if you walk out of the wrong door at the Rot, I've never done this. I haven't personally experienced this, but if you don't go out the one entrance and exit, one little area, so if you go out any other door, this will happen to you. The sirens will go off, and if that happens, everyone will stand up and applaud you. And not laugh at you, but just like, woohoo, yeah. And that's kind of how you can tell who's a freshman and a newbie, because that's who it tends to usually happen to. Number 3, we're getting like real. And like, I don't want to say tea because I feel like that sounds like
make content.
But just because it is a Christian campus does not mean that there will not be immaturity, people doing unholy things. Yeah, there's going to be drama. There's going to be people who you would expect to give you more grace or like live like Christ, and they don't, because hey, not everyone is a Christian at Liberty, but also we're all sinners and we all fall short of the glory of God. Sometimes ish happens. Sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't happen, love that for you. But if it does, understand that we're all dealing with stuff at the end of the day. But yeah, that's it for that one. Number 2, Enneagrams and spiritual gifts are a very big thing at Liberty. Those are 2 very big conversations that are held at Liberty. I feel like it always comes up somehow when you're talking to someone. So yeah. Number 1, I want to say this in the best way possible. If you saw my Liberty University documentary series, basically it follows me transferring to Liberty and also interviewing students, a bunch of questions that I had before transferring. So watch that, 10 out of 10, recommend. But one of the questions that I asked them was, is there like a hierarchy at Liberty? Do people care about popularity and status and whatnot? And majority of people said no, like it's not really a thing. And I'm here to give you what I've learned and come to know. I'm not saying that everyone was lying, but I am saying that living off campus puts everything into a different perspective, and I feel like a more clear perspective. When it comes to popularity and a hierarchy at Liberty, there is a hierarchy. There's people who I think definitely I know people definitely pride themselves on being a part of the Liberty elite or being well known, and I'm not saying that assuming. I'm saying that because I've heard people brag to my face. I thought, coming from a public university going to a private university, that we would kind of do away with like the rankings and the titles, because I was in Greek life at Old Dominion University. I was in a sorority, and people cared so much about their status, who was number 1, who was top tier, who was bottom tier, everything like that. And I love my sorority, but just like had enough of Greek life in general. Coming to Liberty, I thought that it would be very different, and I thought that it would be less of that. But no matter where you go, there's still going to be that. Even though we are a Christian university, there's still going to be principles like that, because we're not Jesus and we're not perfect. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want it to sound like I'm coming at anybody, but like, I think it just annoys me hearing things about how much people care about their status or like how well known they are and popularity, like, because that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, yes, I do get it. As Christians, our identity, it can't be in our status and our title. It can't even be in our career. Like, yes, we're going to college for a career and pursuing a major, but our identity, it can't be in that. And so priding ourselves on how many followers we have, if we have a YouTube channel, if we don't, if we have a heck of amount of subscribers, followers, TikTok, well, I don't know, like, I'm just listing things off the top of my head now. There's a lot more people who care about their image and their status than who I thought would. I know we all have a moment where like, oh, we want to have a cute Instagram picture, oh, we want to match like our theme and whatnot. Like, that's very different, and that's not what I'm talking about. And I love Liberty University so much. I'm so proud to be a Flame, and I love my community and my peers and my fellow colleagues. Wow, look at me using please don't take anything in a negative light. Don't assume that I'm talking about like a specific person, or like I don't know how people might take things, but I've experienced some bizarre, wild, run with it assuming situations, so that's why I'm saying that. The amount of cons compared to my old university and a lot of other universities, it doesn't even compare. It's so minuscule compared to everywhere else, in my own opinion. Depends on your mindset, depends on your perspective. But you know what, hopefully this video could help, and make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe so you can join the family, and I think the last thing to say is, may the Lord bless you, may he keep you, may he make his face shine upon you. I love you guys so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day or night, whatever time it is you're watching this. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.